A late change replacing Silvani. Dennis Committee, Bruce McAvaney and Gerard Healy are our commentators, and tonight we pick up play at the start of the third quarter.
8:47 lots to play for. The start of the second half at the MCG. Up goes Madden, fists away, taken by Hinckley. He puts it down towards centre half forward. Drifting kick, that swirling breeze, making it awkward. McKay overran it. Hocking was held without it. You'll get the free kick. Well, he certainly showed it to advantage. He was grabbed by the arm. He wants to play on, goes in short, and Stoneham has marked it directly in front, about 35 metres out. Well, the game started with Geelong launching attack after attack. They kicked the first 4 goals, and again here.
Geelong have already made a quick change. They brought Denham back onto the ground and replaced O'Reilly, a big player.
An early raid by the Cats looks successful. It is. Smiles all round. 9-4 plays 7-4.
Yeah, of course, that was Sean Simpson coming back onto the ground, not Denham. And there's a big goal from Big Barry Stoneham, who's been moved to centre half forward. Good start to Geelong.
Stoneham's early goal, and the Cats stretch it out to 2 goals. Dean got on top of O'Reilly in that second quarter, so Stoneham there now. Madden didn't go anywhere. Shaw was unable to take it out of the ground. McCormack's kick went very few metres. Couch's kicked to centre half forward. Christo went early.
Did it
Dean.
well.
Riccardi. Brownless shrugs the tackle off. Centres the ball with a beautiful kick to Stoneham. Plays on. Still Barry Stoneham. Onto his left foot. Centering kick to the goal square. Ablett and Hannah. Scott. A goal. Geelong are 3 in front. Well, they've jumped them again. Carlton have come out cold. It's 10-7.
Yes, and a vital start once again to Geelong. Stoneham probably shouldn't have played on, could have gone back and launched one deep into attack. Ablett gets the ball to the ground, and Scott finishes off with an opportunistic goal. Once again, that errant hand from Hannah. You'll have to be careful with that, it'll attract another free kick against.
David Parkin looking concerned, as you'd expect. Very much the season on the line here. Bairstow, his 15th possession, boots it out wide. McKay, such a good player for South Australia in state of origin, swings it around the outer side. Hogg comes to meet it, full-chested, did brilliantly. A deft deflection to Scholl, goes back to Hogg, who boots it around the outer side. Spalding at full stretch. Marks close to the boundary line. Such an important term, this one. Spalding. Probing kick. Kernahan. Fisted away by Darcy. De Ulio snaps. Looks good. Goal. His second, 8-4, 10-4.
And that's De Ulio's great strength when he hits the base of the packs, gets to the work face, running flat out. There you see him coming off screen, bang. Hits that, gets the ball quickly to boot. A terrific goal under enormous pressure.
Back to 12 points to Ulio's second goal. Couch got rid of it in a hurry. Hinckley's handball straight up from the air. Carlton had some numbers. McCormack's kick towards half forward. Views went to ground. Kernahan, well played to Hogg. Can he get a foot to it? Oh, well done, Couch. Simpson shrugged off Williams, kicks it out to a space. McCormack and Malacallison out of play.
Williams has his third opponent, Stephen Hocking. I feel he may have lined up on him initially. Hocking, a very good negative type player. Merriman did quite well on him in the first quarter on Williams, but Williams got away in the second.
Speak of the man, trying to burst his way through. Scott's there. Fraser Brown puts a tackle on him. And again, it's going to be a bounce down.
The other important move for Geelong is they've put both of their main architects, centre bounce architects, in the middle. Bairstow and Couch both played on the half forward flanks in the first half. And it'll be interesting to see if they can deliver the goods.
Madden's little one. De Ulio runs onto it. Finds some space with pace. Left foot kick to Kernahan. No free kick. Kernahan's looking for one. Darcy looks for one. Malakalis caught. Tommy Alvin's left foot. It's out of play. Kicked Carlton's first goal from memory, or second, when he ran in and goaled Alvin. Now Kernahan and Barnes. Barnes at the back, well done. McCormack with a bit of strength. Williams.
Had to be legged.
Well, it looked like he might have been legged, but no free kick. Malakalis froze in the end, and it's out of play. Doesn't seem to be too worried about McCormack, who's contested pretty well.
Barnes and Kernahan. Back to Barnes. This is Bairstow hard against the boundary line. Pulls it around the outer side wing. Couch. Good judgment. Timed his run well. Plays on from half-back. Swings it back to the middle. Gary Hocking. Plays on. Goes down towards centre half forward. Strong mark in front held by Pickering. Crown 150. It wasn't there, but it was a good mark. Now 50 could be there. No. Just clumsy, thinks the umpire. Pickering kicks down towards the kickoff line. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Off hands and through for a minor score. Billy Brownless. 10-5, 8-4. Just under 20 minutes till three-quarter time. Christo breaks away. Dean chips it meantime to Gleeson, who's held up by Ablett. Gleeson up from the back pocket. Proceeds around the outer side with a high kick towards the wing. Madden used his body well, claimed the mark. Releases McKay. This is Brown.
To Alvin. Inside to McKay. From 50, the drop punt. A chance, a goal! Stirring stuff, that. A run from half-back and ran it all the way up and kicked the goal to put the Blues within 7 points.
Yes, and McKay's man, Gary Hocking, more than half the ground away now, sitting on the half-forward flank there for Geelong. Great running from a player who has been a real find for Carlton, giving them some run, one of their weakest departments.
The Blues have shown plenty of fight here today. They're right back in this ball game again. Madden all over the top of Barnes. Bradley didn't take a clean possession. Gleeson got it to him. Well, Craig can kick a goal. Drop punt, go, run it through. A beauty.
Can they go on from here? Bradley has inspired himself. He thumped it down towards half forward. Spalding to Williams. Williams from the 50. Kicks it down towards the pocket. Kernahan. So a chance for the Blues to lead for the first time today. Now he goes in short. Alvin forced to give it back to Kernahan. Very sharp angle this. Perhaps we're about to see a check side from Steve Kernahan. His 7th season as skipper. 3 times best and fairest. An outstanding player. Tries it and succeeds in levelling the scores. 65 apiece.
It was a great pass from Greg Williams, who weighted it beautifully on the left. Could have perhaps blazed away a goal, but saw Kernahan was on the left-hand side of his player and just poked it into space, allowing Kernahan to run on. Probably should have goaled there from Banana Alley.
Darcy got great distance. Madden. Back to Bradley. High one. Kernahan caught out of position momentarily. They brought it to ground. Couch had to wait for the ball to bounce down. Bairstow took it well. Streamed through the centre to centre half forward. Ablett. Oh, it's happening at both ends. It's thrilling stuff here. And you can just imagine Gary going back now and thumping this through. Wouldn't he love to do it? Bang. Drop punt. Hooks it badly and misses. Well, I'm not a good riser today. Ablett letting the side down for a moment. And the Cats are a point in front. Got the big hook on that one. The man they call God. Sexton.
Straight down the middle. Barnes from behind, got hands to it. Scholl feeds it out to Bradley. He's been inspiring. Gleeson, a little 1-2 with Bradley. Bradley runs to half forward, unloads from 70, vacant goal square, goal! Oh my!
Well, Craig Bradley, you're a champion player. There is no question of that. He's just unloaded with a magnificent barrel that you very rarely see in a pressure time of the game. His performance since quarter time has been outstanding, and the reason that Carlton are now in front of a Geelong side that was rampaging in the first quarter. Good shepherd there by GLEESON, and a great kick from Bradley.
Blues in front for the first time today. Bradley has played a couple of inspiring minutes here. GLEESON and he combining twice for great goals. Here's Hocking, Stephen, left foot, Ablett in the front spot, Henry at the back. They come from everywhere, the Blues. Ablett, clever. Alvin overran it in the end. Still Tommy Alvin. Dean caught, good tackle, free kick coming back. Against Ablett, is it, or certainly against Geelong? Allowed to play on. Alvin to Sexton. Was for legging. Now GLEESON, who's played the understudy to Bradley in a couple of those memorable goals, but boy, has he been handy.
Both of them have been run pretty quickly out of their defence. Carlton and Geelong were very good at maintaining possession in the forward line in the first quarter. That's fallen right away, and Carlton are just running free from that area.
Hinckley short, McGrath, Alvin to sweep in late. McGrath holds his ground and takes it. Bairstow short, wants it. Christo plugs a gap. McGrath from centre wing. Centre half forward, the kick. Kernahan's got back there for the Blues. And runs it out. Brownless coming in late. So what a turnaround here at 11-5 to 10-6. Carlton in front.
Boundary throw in. A lot of wrestling. GLEESON again. Alvin towards midfield, but only Barnes. Drops the mark, time to recover. Hinckley to Simpson, forward of the wing, pumps it back inside the 50. Brownless sets himself, but over the top his teammate Ablett.
Simon Madden and Stone having a bit to do on the flank, just off screen. There's Gary Ablett summing up the situation.
Well, Stoneham is hurt, and I'm not surprised. Madden fell on him. Meantime, Ablett's got the ball. It was a big bear hug, and Madden crashed down on Stoneham as Ablett kicks a goal. Everything's happening at the MCG. What a game!
Well, there's no point remonstrating with Justin Madden. Both players had a decent purchase of each other, and Big Justin just proved that he was a better wrestler. But this is a bit of a problem now for Geelong, as it doesn't look like Stoneham is in any state whatsoever. And here comes the stretcher. A disaster now for Geelong, with their biggest gun, I would suggest, being gunned down.
So the stretcher is coming out onto the ground, and Stoneham, hopefully, he's just badly winded, but it could be more serious than that. I've never seen anything quite like that. They were locked in each other's arms, and Madden sort of picked him up and then fell from what is a great height right on top of him, and Stoneham almost bounced as they hit the deck. He was firmly under Madden. I just happened to catch it out the corner of my eye. So watch this again. That's how it started. We can't go any further than this, but he spun him around, having lifted him, and then fell right down on top of him. Ablett, meantime, kicked a goal.
I was going to say, Dennis, you could see Stoneham's feet were off the ground in that freeze frame. Well,
he was crushed.
Drama aplenty here at the MCG. Barry Stoneham in all sorts of trouble. And as Gerard Healy said, arguably the biggest gun Geelong has. Now, there's Stoneham on the ground as Madden is walking away.
I just noticed in the centre bounce, just getting back to the football momentarily, Bruce, that Riccardi has come into the centre trying to tag Bradley. And I'm sure that Bradley will try to break that by forcing the issue, minding Gary Hocking.
That's Barry Stoneham.
Now he can come back on having come off the ground on a stretcher, even if he didn't come through the interchange gates, but I think he did.
11-6, 11-5. So Ablett's goal, which seems an eternity ago now, has put Geelong in front. Williams, Scholl, free kick to Carlton. It's going to be very willing, as you'd expect now. It has been for much of the match, and tempers are at a high. Scholl's kicked the centre half forward. Kernahan with a fly. Well, good take to Julio. Can finish it off here and does beautifully.
Carlton have been inspired since midway through the second term, certainly, and the umpire will bounce it again.
Yes, inspired by the champion qualities of Craig Bradley. He set them alight, along with Greg Williams, who lifted his work rate after quarter time. There he is on screen, Craig Bradley.
Bitterly cold day, 14 points the difference. Gary Hocking down towards half forward, awkward bounce. Ratton, Dean, Scholl, now Williams in trouble. Hocking got him. Scott tries to crash his way through. Back comes Steve Hocking. Tudor, clever hand pass. This is Merriman on the 50 to Bairstow to Brownless. Brownless aided by a very good shepherd from Couch. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Well, he should have done far better. Couch did terrifically well on McKay to buy him some time.
Well, a bad miss there. Remembering that Billy hit the post in another remarkable incident in the third quarter. A quarter of remarkable incidents as Dean kicks the ball to the boundary line and it rolls out. Geelong has kicked the first goal in each of the first 3 quarters. And you'd reckon they'd have to kick the first one here to win. Barnes and Madden try some more wrestling as it goes to the boundary line. Brown kept it in. Pinched 40 metres for Carlton. Punched away at the back by O'Reilly. Taken by Pickering. Had an airy. Williams, who's been excellent. Buse. Bradley worrying him out of it. Still Buse. Scholl's little handball. Gleeson. Still with Gleeson. McGrath didn't put him down. Gleeson carries it another 10 metres forward. Out of play. Gleeson, Bradley and Williams all getting over 20 touches at this stage of the match. Spalding does the work with O'Reilly. Hocking. Oh, the Brown tackle was good. Against Pickering. Fraser Brown from centre wing. Kernahan's in the box seat. Went early. Darcy tapped it away. Coming back, Buse. Running out of room. The handball. Hogg back towards Kernahan. Kernahan went to ground. Got a handball away. Carlton with a few numbers. DeUlio Court should be holding it. McGrath's tackle was a beauty. The advantage is played. Scott runs it around the boundary line. Kicks the ball to centre wing. Riccardi and Sexton. Still Riccardi and Sexton. Tudor. The tackle by Brown couldn't stop him. McKay went for it. Pickering did very well. Didn't use Riccardi. Goes to Ablett. Hannah with him. Oh, Ablett. Second attempt. No play on called. Now Ablett besieged. And he'll be disappointed.
Let's have a look what happens on screen. Well, it appeared to be enough. Ball did bounce there in the finish.
That's got to be a mark, doesn't it? Thrown in, Madden fisted back towards the boundary line, out of bounds, and a throw in. So a real test for the Cats, this. Carlton, so aggressive, so strong at the ball. Off the ground by Barnes. This is Bairstow. Quick hands to Tudor to Pickering. Not a good kick, gained only about 5 metres. Scholl out of mid-air. Christo assessed it pretty well. Knocked it about 10 metres. Steve Hocking in trouble. This is Scott. Sweeping hand pass. Scholl's in the road. He's been handy. Now Brownless. Gleeson didn't get him that time. He got him in the previous term. Brownless gets that kick inside the 50. Now Sexton scrambles it back towards half-back. Well played by Scott. Oh, great tackle by Sexton. Spills to Tudor. Sexton got him from the ground. Now Merriman almost missed the ball. Dean concedes a behind with the help of Hannah. Some desperate stuff there. Carlton 14-9, Geelong 12-8.
Hannah goes very short. but it was accurate to Dean. From the back pocket, he's kicked the centre wing. Sexton the target. Gary Hocking gets back there. Sexton with a chance though. Had a fumble. Left foot kick. Into the space. Fraser Brown. Good shepherding by Gleeson. Brown goes on to Kernahan. Oh, great mark. A terrific stretch by the captain. Well, wouldn't this bring the house down if he could goal from here?
He's had plenty of practice at shots from this position. What a magnificent grab. Good kick by Brown. Who sets up his skipper for another shot at goal and perhaps the final nail in the coffin.
Long way to go yet, but Carlton going very well. Kernahan, good looking kick, he's got it. Well, Kernahan with his fourth. As Stephen Silvani, who was a late withdrawal today, and Joe Bailey look on. And the Blues have charged away.
Yes, Joe was pretty impressed with this goal from the skipper. There's Fraser Brown. Pinpoint accuracy, a player that's been down a little bit this year. One of the reasons Carlton's been lacking a little bit. Some of their first-year players of last year are just a shade down.
Gee, it's a big lead all of a sudden. The Blues by 19 points. Scholl, who's had a good match, kicks the ball up to the 50-metre line. Darcy away from Kernahan. A poor handball. Fraser Brown with him, Hinkley, and now out of play.
Well, the pundits at the end of the day will be talking about the 20-day break for Geelong. When they came out of the blocks, you could argue that it was a bonus, but as an ex-player, I've always thought you're better off, the body's like a machine, and you're better off just getting into a rhythm and going.
Williams to Brown and to Julio, and McGrath runs it out of play.
And that's not to suggest Geelong can't win this game. It's still very open. I think it's a distinct advantage to have your season interrupted by such a long break.
Gleeson trying to barge his way through. Hughes twists and turns. Finds O'Reilly. O'Reilly from half-back up towards centre-half forward. Brown was caught underneath it. Ratton did a very good job to punch it away. Merriman's in there with him. The tackling by Carlton has been excellent. McKay puts one on there, and they hold it up again. So Kernahan's fourth goal a few moments ago has given Geelong a nice little break. Madden thumps it away. Taken by Couch. Couch looked, then waits the kick to half forward. Merriman and Ratton. Ratton punches it away. Now Pickering goes back to Gary Hocking. He's had very few touches since quarter time. Ablett, Hannah, surely Ablett that time, no. Gee, Hannah's hands look to be around him, but out of play.
Well, Gary Ablett has made a habit of just leaning back on his players, and I think when we were talking about the umpires pinpointing it, that's what they were talking about. Don't give those easy free kicks when Ablett is the perpetrator.
Tudor goes to ground. He's going to get a free kick lead, Tudor. Bairstow goes on and hits the post for the kick against Christo. And Tudor should kick his second from here.
Interesting one about the advantage rule here, Dennis, because their skipper here in Bairstow elects to have a shot at goal following that. He thought it was an advantage to have a shot, but now that all of a sudden they're bringing it back. And Tudor from only 15 metres shouldn't miss.
He's got it. Long, edge closer. But generally, Carlton, with the exception of the first 15 minutes today, have been the master. Bradley off the ground, worth a kick. Almost a kick. Inside the 50 it bounces. McGrath heads for the boundary line to Julio, who's been handy. Knocks it Carlton's way. McGrath tidies up, though. Gets it to Darcy. Now he's in trouble. Real trouble, Darcy. What's he done here? That's a great snapshot. He hit the post.
Even the umpire had a smile on his face with that one. Great pressure from Stephen Kernahan, though. Darcy coming across the ground looking for the quick change. Just misjudged Kernahan's pace a little bit and almost kicked an own goal.
Gee, he would have been disappointed if he kicked it out of bounds on the full, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. Madden goes up and thumps it down. Mind you, he's not too happy at the present time. McGrath tries to crash his way through. McKay in trouble. Couch got him. McCormack stood up in the tackle. Couch didn't. And we've got a whistle.
You'd have to question Geelong at the minute. We noticed that Stoneham gave the thumbs up at three-quarter time. Now would be the time to get him back on the ground, wouldn't it? And there he is, actually on the boundary line.
Bounce meantime on the 50. Barnes gets it down. Gleeson hacks it across the ground. O'Reilly heads for the boundary line. Spalding worked against him well. Taken by Buse. The hand pass over the top, but there's no space for Couch. It's knocked away by McKay. And it's out of bounds. 15-10 to 13-8. Carlton lead.
Stoneham and Simpson together. Stoneham a real key here. If they could get 15 minutes out of him, it could turn the tail. Madden gave it up to Malacallis. Malacallis' high kick to centre wing. Sexton and Riccardi. Oh, good mark, Sexton. Set himself, didn't he?
There,
Sexton's centering kick. Greg Williams at the back of this. Almost a one-hander. Went to ground, looked for a free kick. Hinkley gone by D'Urlio, holding the footy. Kernahan leads. D'Urlio kicks it to the pocket. Kernahan runs onto it and marks.
Nothing Tim Darcy could do about that one. With Carlton playing all their forwards up on the half-forward line. Kernahan's got the whole full forward line to lead into, and here we see Alex to go to his favourite flank on the MCG, where he kicked the goal from not so long ago.
This kick not as tough as Darcy's.
Kernahan going for goal number 5. The drop punt. Misses that one to behind. So he's had plenty of shots, the champion. He's had 4 goals for today. And the Blues are 15-11 to 13-8. Is O'Reilly about to bring it back in.
Member side with a kick. Spalding stood his ground in front. That hurt. Barnes cannon into the back of him. This is McKay. Gets by Tudor, 60 metres out. Long probing kick. Kernahan from behind. Darcy did well. Alvin keeps it alive. Gleeson surrounded. Darcy heads for the boundary line and finds it. That was good play twice by the veteran. So a throw in alongside the behind post. 15-11, 13-8. Carlton seemed to be doing enough. O'Reilly thumps it out of bounds. Real gutsy performance by the Blues today. Slow start, very important game. They've steadied like a good side. O'Reilly knocks it out of bounds again.
And Carlton have got Bradley on the half-forward line. His man, Gary Hocking, then is taken out of the play, and perhaps one of the only way Geelong will win is if they can get Gary Hocking up onto the ball.
Spalding from behind, knocked it down to Darcy. The hand passes across the goal face. Hinkley falls to ground, but as he went, got a boot to the ball, and another throw-in. Inside 14 minutes remaining in this game, and that tells a story. Carlton tackled strongly all day. Spalding slaps it back towards the kickoff line. Darcy. Kernahan got a cruel bounce. Buse comes away, finds Tudor up from the back pocket. Lee Tudor. He's got a couple of goals this afternoon. Centres this one. Riccardi running back with the flight of the ball, but McKay outnumbered, did well. Knocked it goalward. Steve Hocking in trouble. Stood up in the tackle, gets it to Couch. Couch forward of half-back. Goes to half-forward. Brownless in the air. Couldn't hang on. Bairstow couldn't run onto the loose ball. Knocked out by Ratton. Picked up brilliantly there by Hocking. Couch. His hand pass was smothered. It came back from McKay. Smothered to Gleeson. Gleeson kicks inside the 50. Hinkley goes back with the flight of the ball. Fists it towards the boundary. And now O'Reilly. D'Urlio was pushed in the back surely.
Hinkley. Alvin's tackle was a good one. Carlton hold it up. So the Blues leading by 15 points. Williams to Hogg. Around the body. Kernahan versus Darcy. A tumbling ball. Taken by Buse. Kernahan still in there. Good battle by Brown. And again, Carlton over to hold the football up. Keeping it very much in the heart of their forward line.
Yes, I'm sure Parkin would have been most impressed with the pressure that they've applied since quarter time. That's what's got them back into this game, along with a few individual efforts. Their tackling in their forward line has been outstanding.
McGrath conceding a behind, and lucky for Geelong that didn't just sit up that ball and stop dead, because Carlton was about to swoop.
I'd just like to mention McKay's 1% work. His hand, just getting that hand on the ball or smothering or knocking it on, has been outstanding today. Has had a very good game across half-back.
Darcy. An attacking kick straight down the centre. There's McKay again with that 1%, as Gerard was pointing out. Thumping it away. Couch's high ball. Spalding runs onto it. Takes the mark at centre wing. Uses Williams inside. Goes to Hogg. Scott tries to run him down. Hogg's kick. Now Kernahan sets himself. Has two opponents. Alvin tried to shark. McGrath fell from his hands. Hughes caught by Alvin. Ducks his head. Goes to Malakalis. Goes to McGrath. Geelong are hanging on. Comes out to half-back. Scholl's going to be outnumbered. The bounce important. Bairstow runs it in front. Trying to put... Sexton tried to put the pressure on. Here's Tudor. Riccardi didn't stop Scholl. He should have. Scholl tries to run Tudor down. Puts enough pressure on him. Barnes is tied. It runs out of play. At right forward pocket.
Yes, it wasn't a good effort by Riccardi. It's a couple of times today he's run forward ahead of the football instead of attacking it, particularly in this last quarter. It's been a bit disappointing.
Geelong desperate for a goal. Brownless looking for a free kick in the front spot. Gleeson and out of play with Riccardi with him. Gleeson today 17 and 7 and a couple of big goals and a couple of little handballs to Bradley, which resulted in spectacular goals in that third quarter.
Yes, he's been terrific. Madden gets it down. Hocking went to ground. McKay, what a resolute defender, heads for the boundary line. Out of bounds it goes. Bairstow sensing the gravity of all of this. Geelong in real trouble here. Madden gets it down, taken by Pickering. It bounces inside the 50. Ratner's defended well as well. He pushes the ball across the boundary line yet again. They're playing with great discipline. The clock continues to run inside the last 11 minutes. 15-12, 13-8. Brownless in front. Madden heads for the boundary line. Sexton knocks it on. Christo overran it. Steve Hocking. Clever hands. Bairstow had left before the ball had arrived. And it goes out of bounds. 21 possessions for Mark Bairstow. Was counting his 22nd there. But it came unglued. Bradley knocks on from Madden towards the wing. Spalding goes to ground. Running on out there was McKay. They're going in very solidly. Christo hammers it down towards half forward. Well played by Alvin. Little deflection down to the advantage of Gleeson, but the kick goes a mile in the air. That will be iced. Hogg has taken the mark. It barely went 10. It certainly went a long way up.
Yeah, good mark here to Matthew Hogg, but once again we saw two valuable knock-ons from Carlton, and they've just used that tactic all day. Kick the ball off the ground, get it going in the direction of your goals with tap-ons, smothers, whatever you like. And that will pay dividends perhaps if Hogg can kick another goal, but their desperation has been just that shade higher than Geelong's for most of the day, and will probably be the major difference when we look at the scoreboard at the end of the quarter.
Very important kick, this one. Hogg pulls it left. Behind. The official attendance today, 37,119. Steve Silvani looking reasonably contented.
All he needs. Oh, he's got a pair of gloves there too, Dennis.
Don't blame him.
Darcy straight down the spine. Sexton and mark taken by Brownless in front of Madden. Sexton at the back. Brownless gives it off to McGrath. You just wonder if Geelong could make Carlton pay here, because Carlton has had a lot of opportunities to sew this game up. Barnes caught. The tackle was terrific. It was McKay again. Carlton have been wonderful on the football in the last three quarters. Hocking over the top of it. Carlton looking for a free kick. Sexton and Christo amongst them, and Gleeson. Bairstow away, but a ball up.
Well, 90% of the game is played when you haven't got the ball in your hands. And what you do in that 90% often is the difference between good and bad sides. And Carlton's work when they haven't got the football has been so superior to Geelong's today. They're smothering, they're tackling, their support running. And it's been a major difference and a major factor in them coming back from behind after the first quarter.
Merriman off the ground for that point. Hannah's kick, a good one to Dean. 13-9, 15-13. About 8 minutes remaining. Dean's kick to centre wing. Spalding. Alvin. Kept it in. Cleverly to Brown. Should give it to Bradley. Goes for goal instead. Kicks it very well and just misses. Well, handball to Bradley, and I reckon it might have been curtains. 15-14 to 13-9. Hard to see Geelong getting back, but Carlton really should be 4 or 5 goals in front at this stage. It should be out of reach.
Hinkley to himself. Drives it around the outer side. Taken by Kernahan with some time. Confronted out there by Darcy. Chips it back and finds Williams. Williams at right half forward. 15-14, 13-9. His 27th possession. Back towards the pocket. Hogg a little indecisive. Gary Hocking's got it. Releases Darcy out of defence. Sends the ball around the outer side wing. Pickering was held by the arm surely and will take the free kick just forward of the wing.
Couch is down at full forward, still with McKay. Ablett just running up onto the half-forward line, trying to get involved in the action.
Pickering goes for distance. They'll contest about 30 metres out. McKay with discipline again. Thumps the ball about 30 metres. Riccardi was held. Socket off the ground by Gleeson. There was no free kick for Riccardi. No compassion from the umpire. Interesting. Malakella, strong tackle. McCormack. Across it comes to Buse. Alvin got him. Oh, this tackling is irresistible. Well done by Scholl. Got it across to Sexton. Not to be outdone. Geelong apply a couple. Buse got Sexton, but now it's with Gleeson. Sweeping hand pass to Hogg. 70 metres out. Not a particularly good kick. Awkward bounce, though, for McGrath. It runs free. De Julio back to goal. The sharpshooter now in space. Kicks. He's got it.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1993 AFL Premiership season.
Geelong got the first 4 goals of the match. The Blues got the 4 points. They won by...
The hailstones continue to come down. There's a mark taken by Pios. Well, the visibility is so bad he had to put his hand up.
Well,
and said,
look,
I've got it.
He's got his head down into his shoulder, but to protect himself.
Exaggerating. I don't think we're all that far from snow here, you know.